Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Triple R Ryan's Raw Reactions, and today we are watching the most viewed video on Chris Watts on all of YouTube. This has 41 million views. The title is Watch How Police Caught Chris Watts, Family Murderer with Body Language, Police Body Cameras. This is a video from Derek Van Schaik. So I figured it would be cool to go through and see what the most viewed video was on Chris Watts and react to it. I'm sure I've seen some of these body cams, but it's always cool to have different perspectives and different angles. Here we go.
Welcome back to the channel. Derek Van Schaik here. Chris Watts is the northern Colorado man who eventually admitted to killing his pregnant wife and two young daughters on the morning of August 13th, 2018. Right now, you are watching Chris Watts cover up the scene of his crime by loading his deceased pregnant wife and two young daughters into the backseat of his work truck, which took him about 50 minutes that morning. His pregnant wife, Shanann, was found buried in a shallow grave in an eastern
wow, I never seen where it was. Wow, that's it?
Colorado oil field.
Wow, I've never seen that before. Sorry, I'm just kind of taken aback.
His pregnant wife, Shanann,
Man, so that really just is like the middle of nowhere.
Found buried in a shallow grave in an eastern Colorado oil field where Chris worked. And the bodies of his two little girls were found dumped in oil tanks. I live just 40 minutes south of where all this happened, so this case literally hits close to home. At first, Chris Watts claimed his family was just missing, and that's where we're going to start. We're going to watch through police body cameras how this first day unfolded, and I'll point out Chris's body language, which caused police to really suspect he was guilty.
All right, love to see it. We love body language stuff on this channel, so let's go, Derek. Let's see what you got.
Since cameras are now everywhere with doorbell cameras, police body cameras, and cell phone cameras, it's shocking to witness firsthand how everything unfolded and then unraveled quickly for Chris that first day.
It's also, I mean, like, Ring doorbell cameras have really changed, like, everything when it comes to safety and privacy and just, you know, you're on camera walking down a street no matter what, good or bad. And I have a feeling that Chris Watts did not expect that to happen to him here. But I mean, if you're just walking down the street, there's a good chance, if it's in a pretty populated area, suburbia, there's going to be 5 or 6 different people that have you on camera. So it's like it's the age of surveillance, and I get it. Privacy is great. I'm just saying. I mean, not privacy. Surveillance is important for safety. It's just crazy.
Now, let's get started.
How you guys doing?
Brother?
What's that?
Do you remember me?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
How you been?
Hi.
You Nicole?
Yes.
Neighbor Nicole, Shanann's friend.
What's going on?
Not neighbor, but Shanann's friend.
So my friend, we were out of town for a business trip this weekend.
All right.
And I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well. And she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. And she was very distraught over the weekend, wasn't eating normally or drinking, and we kept trying to force it on her because she's pregnant. Her husband and her supposedly are separating, but she didn't know this. She thought they were just having issues. He disclosed that to me today.
Okay.
Because I called him, and I was like, have you talked to her?
I did not know this. See, when I watched some of this footage before on the channel, but it didn't have everything in there. Some of it was cut around. I did not realize that he even told Nicole that they had separated, or they were getting a separation. And I guarantee you he did that to try to have like an alibi of like, yeah, I told her that we were getting a divorce and she must have just took off.
Heard from Shanann since she left for work this morning because I can't get a hold of her. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day are by the front door.
This is August 13th, 2018, so I did not mean for this, but literally almost to the day. It is the 12th. So this is almost 7 years ago to the day. Wow, that is pretty wild.
You only has one vehicle?
No, they only have the one vehicle in his work truck.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. There's not a...
The girls and went on a play date, but they're 4 and 2. She went on a play date. Why wouldn't she take in a car? They're both in car seats.
Yeah, she's using her brain already. Like Chris, like, oh yeah, they went on a play date. Without the car. What play date? Where did they go? See, this is all new info and footage to me. I've seen some of this, like I said, on the JCS video I watched. Beautiful home, giant
so
home.
Sweet, playing with her baby.
She had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and she didn't go to the doctor's appointment.
Okay. No answer on the phone. Husband's on his way.
Minnie Mouse out there for Christmas. But it's been absolutely gorgeous here in Colorado, like always.
Wow, these flashbacks of showing the same location they're at now with Shanann and the kids there is pretty haunting, I can't lie.
But he said that 30 minutes ago when I called him again, and he said he was 45 minutes out still. And I know the code to the door.
You do?
I do, but there's a thing on it. There's a, no, it'll, even Chris knows you can do it. They have the thing flipped up here.
He bolted it.
Oh, what about the garage door?
I don't
Is
know.
there... do you mind calling him and seeing if we can get a passcode to this and get me permission to go in?
Okay.
It's later revealed the garage door keypad doesn't work, so the only way to get into the house is using the remote garage door opener. Chris seems to have made it so no one would be able to go through the house while he was at work.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason he dead bolted the door, for sure.
Just in case he thought of extra crime scene cleanup that needed to be done while he was at work.
Right. See, now, when I watched this before, I only saw the part where, like, it seemed like Nicole came and then Chris showed up right away. I didn't realize that, you know, they tried to get in without him.
Just gonna check the back, see if I can see anything.
This is interesting footage.
At this point, Officer Coonrod is logically thinking Shanann is having a medical emergency, which is why he's banging on windows to hopefully get her children to let them in to help her.
Yep. I've got to have more unless I get consent from him to go in.
Hey, you can't just break in. Oh, look at this, man.
Oh, no, I got a phone!
That's sad, man.
Yeah. You've got your Fourth Amendment rights to the house.
The Fourth Amendment right, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation. So yeah, he doesn't have the probable cause yet. You know, if Shanann was passed out on the floor, that would be probable cause. But since there's nothing there yet, he can't just break in.
I can't violate that. How you doing? You seen your neighbors today? No? Okay.
This is Nate, the next door neighbor with that security camera. Up until this point, of course, he had no reason to check his security camera footage.
Nate's the guy who pretty much busted this open.
Oh, we're just trying to get a hold of her. Sounded like she wasn't feeling too good and pregnant, and they were just concerned.
Casey, don't be mean.
Wow, that's crazy how he keeps... It's like lining up exactly. This is kind of crazy to watch. Minnie Mouse down there.
Shit.
Tell you what, his knuckles got to be hurting. I mean, that's a forceful cop knock right there on like 8 different windows. Windows and doors.
How am I gonna get in?
Appreciate this cop for trying so
Now
diligently.
Ben is filling in Nate on what's going on and how this is all very odd, which is naturally getting Nate more involved.
I mean, I believe as any concerned neighbor would be, right? When your pregnant neighbor is not answering her house, you know, the door at her house, I mean, I would be concerned too. Especially if this is out of the ordinary, which it clearly is, because Nicole made that very obvious that this is not normal. What is on her hand there? Is that a notepad?
Police called me. Shannon was at her girlfriend's house.
Do we know who that is?
Do we know who?
Her phone number?
Hold on.
Shannon was at her Police called me. Shannon was at her girlfriend's
Who told me? Chris told me? Police told me? I couldn't hear what...
house.
Do we know who that is?
Do we know who?
Someone said that Shanann's at a girlfriend's house.
When did he tell you that?
Oh, so Chris told Shanann's mom that she was at her girlfriend's house, like her friend's house.
He needs Chris's acting funny. I don't
But then the car is there.
He told
Her
me
shoes
that
are there.
Shan didn't take the girls to school this morning because she was going to go on a play date, but her car's here.
Hey guys. Hold on, I'm just hopping outside right quick.
What's Chris's phone number? Hey, Chris, Officer Coonrod for the police department. Pretty
You
good.
know his stomach dropped to his ass when he got that call.
Good. So, do you have any idea where your wife is?
Already, Officer Coonrod feels like Chris isn't taking this seemingly serious situation seriously.
Okay. Right. Well, my concern is her car's here. They're saying she is diabetic. I don't want her.
Oh, I did not know she was diabetic either.
Upstairs and can't respond. Okay. About how far out are you? Okay. All right. Thanks.
And I mean, I would assume at this point, if you're Nicole and some of the neighbors and even the cop, I mean, I would say not the last thing you'd think about, but I really don't think they're thinking that Chris killed them, right? I mean, I really do think they think something has happened inside the house where Shanann is unconscious, which would make sense.
He said like 5 minutes. So he's about here.
He's told us 45 minutes 2 times in a row. So he's just been giving us false times and everything. And we know he's been lying because his stories aren't adding up.
Now, the police officer is receiving even more to build on that negative impression of Chris. Obviously, Chris's story of where Shanann and the kids could be is not adding up because he's lying and can't keep his story straight. But why has he been saying he's 5 minutes away for the past 45 minutes?
Wow.
It's likely because while at work, he thought of something that needed cleaning up and didn't want anyone to bust in before he was able to alter his crime scene.
First of all, the fact that he told different people different things is insane. But then, yeah, the fact that I didn't know it took him that long to get there, he's also probably desperately trying to think of something, right? Trying to come up with a plan, trying to think of anything on earth to divert the attention off of him.
I mean, I don't see anything out of place. I'm not hearing kids. I'm not hearing anything.
No, Cece. Clean up. Remember, clean up?
What's Shannon's number? I don't hear the phone ring or anything.
Yeah, man. The neighbor has a camera system.
Mm-hmm.
See how Ben is rubbing his palms together? That's a sign of positive expectancy. And in this situation, he's expecting information from Nate's camera that will help locate Shanann and the kids.
So he's told us 3 different stories. So the neighbor over there said he has a camera.
Shannon, are you home?
This kid keeps me going.
Oh, man.
Police department, if anyone's inside, make yourself known.
Is that airplane?
Police department, if anyone's inside, make yourself known.
I appreciate the cops' due diligence, though. I mean, really, really, truly trying.
Is that Bella?
I don't know about y'all. Anytime I see the kids, man, my heart just sinks every single time, man.
Yeah, you'd think they were here, the kids or someone would respond, though. You'd hear some kind of noise.
Such a beautiful area. There he is. There's the man of the hour. Yeah, so this is where I when I watched on JCS, this is where it popped up right here, like he just showed up. And this is where he puts on his Oscar award winning, I'm a concerned husband, what's going on, I'm running, look at me running.
When Chris finally gets home with the police officer standing right there, he goes to the passenger side of his truck to get something?
Yeah,
the officer
that's
must
crazy.
be thinking she could be dying in there.
Right.
Why didn't you just quickly hit the button to open the garage and sprint into the house to find out if your family's okay?
Yeah, if you think your daughters are missing and your wife is hurt or missing or something's going on inside, every single millisecond would count. I don't know, you guys would too. I'd be out of that truck before I could even park it. I would be in the driveway, out, boom, garage open, and I wouldn't even wait for I would be running inside, right?
I'm here. Hang on.
That is super weird. Even here, he's just kind of, you know.
Scott, how you doing?
Look at that.
How's it going? So this is the only vehicle she would have?
Only one that, yeah.
She would drive? Okay.
More diddle-dallying. Instead of running into the house, he goes into his wife's car to either put something into her car or take something out. Regardless, it's very likely he did something that he thinks will help cover his tracks.
Absolutely.
Or make it appear he's less guilty.
Definitely an alibi type thing. I agree with Derek here. Derek doing a good job.
Is there any way you can look for today? During the daytime?
Now, neighbor Nate is beginning to search through his security camera footage. Everything's already headed downhill for Chris Watts.
Chris is in the house. We're standing outside of the police office. Can we go in the house?
Chris was alone in the house for 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Whoa, I did not know that.
I think it's safe to say that he wasn't looking under the beds for his family during that time.
Wow, so he didn't even open the damn door.
That's up to him. It's his house. If you guys...
Look how long it takes him, 1 minute and 10 seconds to open the door. So he definitely, and you could see, like, you look at Nicole here, that's the face of a woman that's like, what are you doing? What is going on? Like, that's real concern. That's horror on her face. Like, she's like, yo.
I'm giving him permission to walk in my daughter's house.
Mind if I come in, Chris? Okay.
This is really interesting. 1 minute. Because once again, you would be saying, everybody, let's get inside. Let's try to see what, and you go downstairs. I'll go upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be like a tactical mission here, not like a, like, what did he do in that 1 minute and 10 seconds? He did something. He stalled. Once again, what a giant,
You checked upstairs? She's not
beautiful
there?
home.
I just want to make sure she's not passed out somewhere.
He had a beautiful family.
You mind if I look around?
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
It's a huge house, dude. Jesus.
Upstairs is when Chris's performance really begins.
Down her phone.
Oh. Well, shit.
All the girls' blankies are gone.
All the girls' blankets are gone. Yeah, the ones that you covered them in when you killed them.
Their blankies they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good.
What you'll notice is how Chris throws in diversion evidence and diversion dialogue, which he thinks will help divert people from looking at him as suspect number one and start to believe the ridiculous story that his family just vanished.
Nothing else appears to be missing, though. Just stuff you'd take for a quick trip.
Her phone.
Her phone's here?
Yeah, okay.
Her phone's here.
Does she work?
Yeah, she works from home.
Oh, from home?
See how Nicole just flailed her left hand right after she
That's like legit panic.
touched Shanann's phone? It was as if Shanann's phone burnt her hand. It's because touching Shanann's phone made the likelihood that Shanann is in danger very real.
Yep.
And it was very emotionally painful for her to
Sorry that I'm blocking it a
Shit.
little bit.
George, this is her lifeline.
It was shut down?
She's in the play. Yeah.
The officer knows people just don't shut down their phones in their own home. This is
Right.
adding to the officer's suspicion of Chris.
Do you know her passcode?
I don't know her passcode.
It used to be 2385, but now it's 6 digits.
It's the baby's due date.
Now, the officer is asking him questions to understand whether he has a decent alibi to decide Chris's.
Also, I love that Chris doesn't know his own wife's phone lock screen code, but her friend does. It just didn't seem like Chris knew that much of anything.
level of involvement in all of this.
And then she flew out to Arizona Friday morning, and then she got back last night. About 2 a.m. The flight got delayed. She left about 11. She got here at 2.
Okay.
And I went to work this morning about 5:15, 5:30.
Notice the officer's left hand. It's up to his face, and it's up to his face a lot here on out. But we don't know where it is exactly on his face. If his hand is on his cheek or high chin area, it's a sign of evaluation. If it's on his chin, it's decision. But if it's covering his mouth, it's likely he thinks Chris is lying. We sometimes cover our mouths when we don't like what's coming out of someone else's. Have you
That's interesting. I've never really realized that, but I've seen people like, okay, like if you're mad, you go, okay. That's an interesting thing to see.
You ever covered your mouth when someone else told you bad news?
Probably. Yeah, I mean that also that like, something happened. What? Interesting. True.
It's us who left out the front door.
Very typical of someone who's guilty. Chris is coming across as very negative and not at all proactive. When we lose something or someone we really want back, even long shot ideas always seem worthwhile trying. Chris,
if your car gets stolen, right, out front of your house, somebody steals your car, you would every neighbor, every possibility, you would be asking the city if they have cameras. You'd be looking for any camera from anybody on the entire street, right? That would be a very instant thought. Let's go to the neighbors, right? Let's go to this person across the street. Somebody might have something, which is Nicole, the innocent one, thinking exactly that. How about the security cameras? How about this, and this?
This is hardly giving any ideas or jumping on any reasonable suggestions.
Where do you kids go to school at?
Primrose and Mr. Ridge.
This could have been a little test thrown at Chris by the officer. He may have wanted to see if Chris would jump on the idea to call the school because they were originally supposed to go to school that day.
I have no clue at whatsoever why she wouldn't take her cell phone.
Notice Chris and Nicole are both acting scared and nervous with a lot of pacing around and nervous fidgeting. But there's a huge difference between the two. Chris's nervousness is directed inward for himself because he's nervous he'll get caught. Nicole's nervousness is directed outward because her friend appears to be in danger.
I'm not a lost. I don't know where she's at, where the kids are at.
That's his line. If he were a pull-string doll, that's what he would say.
I have no inclination of where they're at right now. I have no idea.
That damn shirt.
Like where they went. I have no inclination of where she is. I don't have no inclination of where she is.
The guy with the camera said nobody left the house during the day. Only people that showed up in the driveway and entered it were us.
Immediately, she looks at Officer Coonrod in a look of shock realization that Chris must be involved. I'm sure the officer gave Nicole a similar look, but more muted.
Yeah, because it obviously starts adding up at that point. Like, nobody else was there. Did they just vanish out of thin air? Did they evaporate? Is this like the Avengers? That still haunts me. I still know. Endgame.
What's that?
Nicole holds her chin while looking at Chris in a sign of decision.
Your neighbors.
Now she rubs the front of her neck in self-comfort due to the troubling news.
Okay, I'm gonna move my camera because I feel like I might be blocking some stuff. I'll rewind the last 20 seconds.
Officer Coonrod in a look of shock realization that Chris must be involved. I'm sure the officer gave Nicole a similar look, but more muted.
What's that?
Nicole holds her chin while looking at Chris in a sign of decision.
Your neighbors.
Now she rubs the front of her neck in self-comfort.
I also know that like some people when they're thinking about it, they'll go, I never really realized that or picked up on that, but that's very interesting.
Due to the troubling news. So, what's Chris's reaction to that shocking news? Watch this.
Your neighbor, he has a camera. He said the only people to have left the house was you, Chris. Chrissy. Okay.
Chris just says, okay. He knows that.
Okay.
That news makes him look very guilty. Chris tried to brush aside that shocking and troubling news to downplay its importance in front of the police officer. But the officer saw what Chris was trying to do, so now Chris's guilt has become very obvious. Now it seems Officer Coonrod throws Chris a little test to see how guilty Chris really feels. As you just saw, he walked a few feet behind Chris, and if you never saw a man shit his pants, Watch this.
Dispatch Rick 91, you can cancel.
Look at that terrified look on his face. He thought the officer was radioing him in to arrest him right there.
The medical if they're staged.
He was like, "Oh!"
Chris buries himself even more in his phone to escape the tension he's feeling, likely texting love messages to his secret mistress.
I still got to get into other Nicole. I know, like, I tried to find some things, and some of them were, like, kind of hard to hear and long, but Chris kept her a secret from police. Police found out about Nicole Kessinger only after they searched his phone. One of Chris's love notes to his secret mistress, it says, "Wow, where do I even start? The first day I saw you, you took my breath away. The first day I had the guts to talk to you, I got lost in those stunning green eyes. The first day we hung out in the park, we kissed." Oh, Jesus, he was cheating. "I knew I had met the most amazing, unique, and electric woman ever." As he's saying this while his wife is pregnant with his third child. "We have a lot of firsts together, Nikki, and I want to keep having them with you. All night till the sun comes back. I want to love you like that." Oh, God, that's like a song lyric there. I gotta get into the Nicole Kessinger lore, because I'm telling you, I just feel like she knows more than she might be laying on. But what I wanted to say was the phone thing makes sense. You ever go to like a party or it's like an awkward vibe and you just kind of like act like you're on your phone. The meme of like you're just on the weather app, which I've done many times where I'm like, or you want to avoid someone and so you just act like you're busy real quick. It's pretty much what he's doing here. Clearly just trying to bury, like he said, bury himself in that phone so he doesn't look like he's guilty, although he doesn't realize that that's literally making him look even more guilty. Oh, is that him saying that he was texting Nicole Kessinger here?
Yep, more playing with his phone instead of figuring out solutions to find his family. The police officer, of course, is taking all of this in, and it looks like his hand is higher up on his face now, likely covering his mouth at this point in shock and disagreement with what Chris is saying, not saying, and how he's acting. Now,
good observation.
Now, some light fact-finding and interrogation comes.
So, Rick, what time do you work?
Usually, once I get to work, it's like 6:30 to 3:30, 4 o'clock.
You usually work nights or days?
Days.
What time do you leave the day?
What time I leave there?
No, here.
Usually between 5:30 and 6.
Right. And was Shannon here then?
Yes. Yeah, she's still in bed.
Does she usually watch the kids, or you have daycare watch them? Or?
She usually watches the kids if they're not in school.
Okay.
And also, it's like that cop, this went from him showing up thinking it was a medical emergency or a misunderstanding to now a possible kidnapping murder case, right? I mean, that's a very big jump in an hour of time. This turned into a lot more than I think the cop imagined.
The pool! To anyone who doesn't know what Chris knows, that's a logical possibility of where she and the kids could be. They could walk to the community pool. Some people don't bring their phones to the pool.
Yeah.
Also, very little clothes or objects get taken to the pool.
Don't need to bring your car.
So that would explain why things aren't missing. It's a hot day in August. That's where they could be. Now, let's watch Chris's response to that idea.
At the pool?
Yeah.
The little rec center thing right here?
There's a pool right down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been here for like off and on for 3 hours. You're nothing.
Alright, I can run down there and check.
That's his response for a logical place they could
I can run down there and check. Almost seems aggravated with the thought.
be. He's like, I don't want to have to walk outside. It's hot out there. Stop interrupting me while I'm texting my girlfriend. Did Chris really think he could just say,
"Stop interrupting me while I'm texting my girlfriend"?
I don't know where my family's at, hang back, text his mistress girlfriend, and get away with annihilating his family?
Did Chris and Nicole, were they dating? Does anybody know in the comments? Were they boyfriend and girlfriend? I mean, they're writing love letters. I know it was a sneaky thing, as the kids say, a sneaky link. But, like, were they together? curious on that.
Chris Watts must seriously be the dumbest person on earth.
He's pretty stupid, man.
It's obvious Chris doesn't want them back, so the officer now asks Chris about marital issues.
You guys having any kind of issues, marital issues, or?
We're going through separation.
You are? Did you guys file it yet or anything, or just talking about it?
No, we're gonna sell the house and do a separation.
And how's that going?
It's going
Civil for the most part, or?
Then goes back to the pool idea to understand why he's not jumping on a real possibility of where he could find his family.
Does your wife go to that swim pool often, or
it just depends. I mean, on a hot day like this, I would say no.
Yeah, okay, Chris, because people go to outdoor pools on cold days. He's just making excuses so he doesn't have to walk outside on a hot August day.
Yeah, because, I mean, he obviously knows. He knows that they're not there. So in his mind, he's like, I don't feel like doing that. But, like, once again, any innocent, sane person would say, let's go. I would have been out that damn door. I would have been on my Usain Bolt running 100-meter dash to that pool.
But Chris thinks what he's saying seems believable because he thinks everyone, including the police, are as stupid as he is.
It says at 5:27 a.m. the overhead garage door 2 was left open and never shut. About that time. So either like when I pulled away and shut the door, it never shut.
So he's trying to create this alibi that somebody miraculously, the same time he left, the garage didn't shut, someone came in and stole them and then didn't come out or leave out of the front and miraculously escaped out the back with his entire family without a trace.
When you got here.
This is some CSI Miami crap.
So either the sensor was tripping out.
Chris now provides miscellaneous info to divert, cover his tracks, and in his mind, make himself seem more innocent.
Yeah.
Now, Chris walks into the bedroom, but for what? Well, it's his big reveal.
This is the ring part, I believe, correct? The ring that he planted. Also, we're over halfway through the video. Time really flies on these. It's insane that we're already 30 minutes in total. As always, you know the vibes. Thumbs up the video. That was me doing it. It doesn't make a noise, but it should. It does make a little animation, though, which is cool. Leave some comments on the video. All of my Watts aficionados that know a lot about this case, you always guide me to more info. And then, of course, subscribe to the channel. We are very close to 14,000. We may even hit it tonight when I drop this video. Please consider subscribing. Just check. You may think you're subscribed and you're not. Just see if it says subscribe, click that button for me. And then if you're feeling extra nice today, maybe you're in a good mood, you got some caffeine in you, some coffee, maybe a Coke, the soda. Click the bell. Click show all. Turn on those notifications for me. I post Monday, Thursday. I don't post Monday. I post Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday with a bonus video now coming Saturday. So we'll call it 4 days a week.
Watch this.
Yep. And the way he does it is so theatrical. Like, doesn't say anything, just like, she left her ring. She's gone. She's probably having an affair. Like, that's what he wants them to think. Like, wow. Found the ring. The ring he put there.
Yep, Shanann's wedding band. But look at how he's holding it. Far away from his body on the tip of his pointer finger, as if he's presenting it to Nicole
like
on
evidence.
a stick.
Yeah.
Clearly indicating with that body language that he doesn't want any part of what that wedding band represents. Did you notice his lips sucked in right there? That's his way of holding back a duping delight smile.
Interesting. There were multiple times where it looked like he was laughing in interviews or kind of being like, you know, I just want her to come home.
Does she do her work from a laptop, or is it just
phone?
Just from the phone? It's not a joint account.
It's a joint account, but like she controls all of it. Like she has.
So even there, like he seems like he's happy. He's in a good mood, you know? Like, if this is actually going on and you're innocent, you are in a face of dread. You should be white, pale, and just your body wouldn't be able to smile. And I know some people say, oh, but some people, that happens when the trauma. Well, no, this isn't trauma. This is he did it. So it's like, you know, an innocent person maybe, but this is not an innocent person.
Finances, because I was pretty horrible back in the day, so she just kind of handles all that, and she does it. And I have the apps on my phone, but I don't have her login to get into it.
More excuses for inaction. The officer sees that Chris doesn't want to find them, but of course they need to be found whether he wants them to be found or not. So the officer starts asking more questions to take charge.
What days does she typically do work?
This officer does a
Where are
great
they based
job.
out of? Does she have someone that she reports to, though?
Really good job. Also, is any other officers there at the time? Is he just by himself? I feel like this is a big deal. Well, it's turning into a big
no note
deal.
or anything by the wedding ring?
What a beautiful bedroom, man. Chris is a freaking idiot.
Is any of her clothes, anything like
This
that?
man had like
missing?
the perfect life. Like I said, a beautiful wife, a loving wife, 2 kids with 1 on the way, great job, beautiful house in a great area. Like, my goodness, and it's just not enough.
It didn't look like she went through and packed up a bag or anything.
Look at the closet. It's bigger than my kitchen.
Tell you anything about leaving, moving out?
Not moving out. I mean, the last time I talked to her was this morning. She said she was going to take the kids to a friend's house, and that's where she was going to be. And then I've texted her today. I've never heard anything.
This is where he says, I texted her 3 times.
But the car's here.
Right.
Are here. Unless somebody came and picked her up. But the people that I know, nobody's heard from her. Nobody's seen her.
Right.
That, of course, was a bold-faced lie.
Yep.
But did he seem believable to you? First, body language of what he did okay. Making good eye
The Chris Watts 20-yard stare where he just goes this. So did you believe me?
contact and showing open palms. But he did a lot of subtle things which indicated a lie. Watch again.
The last time I talked to her was this morning. She said she was going to take the kids to a friend's house.
The pausing.
And that's where she was going to be. And then I've texted her today. I've never heard anything. But the car's here.
Right.
Are here. Unless somebody came and picked her up. But the people that I know.
Once again, if somebody picked her up, that would have showed on the cameras. They don't have the ability to teleport.
Nobody's heard from her. Nobody's seen her.
Right.
The cop, right.
So, what do you think? First, his eye contact wasn't natural and was holding it to see if the officer was buying what he was saying, especially at the end. Second, overuse of hand gestures. He did this to overcompensate for his lie and try to come across as more convincing. Third, notice that
I mean, I didn't do it. Couldn't have been me. Had to be the friend. Somebody came in. It's like doing magic.
shakiness in his voice, a lot of atypical stuttering, stammering, and pausing. Fourth, incongruency between his tonality and his words. There's no sign of shock, sadness, or being scared.
Yeah. Not even once has he choked up. Not even once has he broke down or had a moment of panic or a moment of clarity of like, oh my gosh, this is insane. This isn't happening. This can't be. This isn't real. This is a nightmare. You know, just panicking. Make him sound like a chipmunk or Fred Figglehorn.
Smart, just drive around, see if I mean.
Here, Chris's smile is so out of control, it's disgusting.
Agreed.
Probably not.
Like, look at it. You didn't want to go to the pool, but now you're like, yeah, let's just drive around. Wow, I've never seen any of this. This is making me furious.
Not, 'cause, I mean,
He's held that smile for 5 seconds, guys.
you don't know what car she's in, where she's at. I mean, obviously you're not going to see her car. It's here.
And he
What
knows
is there to
that.
smile about?
He knows that they're not going to find her. He knows that so he's trying to seem like he's the, hey, let's go find her, man. Let's go find her. He knows they won't be able to.
Your pregnant wife and kids are missing. That's what the officer is thinking.
I've got my detective coming, just because this is kind of an odd situation.
The officer mentions calling in his detective, but excuses it as the situation is just odd. Police don't want to scare a suspect into thinking they're a major suspect,
right?
Because the last thing they want is their suspect number one to hire a lawyer and shut their mouth.
Yep.
Police need to keep their top suspect optimistic of walking free, so the suspect keeps talking and providing information.
Tell him I'll be there in just a minute.
Next, they go into the neighbor's house to watch the security footage for the very first time.
What's that?
And here's neighbor Nate again, and Chris Watts is standing
He's
right
glued
there
on that
beside
phone.
the TV. This part is unbelievable.
Loading my stuff up in my coolers, my water jugs, my book bag, my computers, some of the tools that I have in my toolbox. I knew I was going to have to do some pumping into rubbers today.
Keep in mind, this is just 12 hours later. He's now watching himself, for the first time, cover up his murders, with a police officer watching along with him.
That is crazy.
He's about to shit himself.
So I was out so far.
I can't even imagine what his heart rate is at this moment. Watching this neighbor.
Continually recording.
Notice Chris's nervous gulp as Officer Coonrod confirms his interest in the footage. Notice his face is getting shiny with sweat.
Yep. Well,
it's not. Is it motion?
Like records everything, or maybe.
Or is it? Okay, so it's motion.
Any motion event that happens, I get cars driving from this street, and this is him at 517.
Chris is burying his head into his phone to mentally escape where he is right now. Yes, it's likely he's texting his mistress girlfriend to keep himself distracted. Also, notice how close he's holding his phone to his body.
Yep.
Very defensive body language, which actually increases the likelihood he's texting his secret mistress.
Whenever I've been with a girl and I'm just, not like dating, but maybe a couple dates in, and I see them and these are minor things, but they'll always put their phone face down. I'm like, why are you doing that? That's, there's a reason. Or if you see someone texting and they're like this, if you're not doing anything wrong, you're just doing this, and because who cares, right? Oh, here's my phone. Oh, the Phillies are playing the Reds in a little bit. Oh, I have a PS2 background on my phone. Who cares? But why are you hiding it? What do you have to hide? And he doesn't even want to look. Because of course he doesn't.
Park out there on the side. I just want to get everything back in.
I just want to get everything back in.
Out there, all the tools that I had to bring in.
Constant defending and explaining implies guilt.
Yep. Over-explaining, too, with the tools.
Notice how he looked completely away from the TV to the door with a deep breath. But what does that all mean? Many things. First thing, he doesn't like what he sees on the screen.
Yeah.
Now, this may sound too simple, but it's true. We look away from things we don't like, and we look at things we do like. This includes automobiles, homes, jewelry, and even security footage.
Yep.
Second, the fact that he looked all the way around to the front door shows that he wants to get out of there. Third, very deep breath. Fight or flight instinctual defense mechanism kicked in. This naturally happens when we feel threatened. Our body's heart rate increases quickly in preparation for a fight or to run away.
Oh, yeah. Hands over the head.
Now, Chris puts his hands on top of his
That's the first time he's done that the whole time here.
Head in an attempt to calm down so he can appear less nervous. Have you ever seen a marathon runner strike this pose when they cross the finish line? It's to open up the airways to allow for maximum airflow to calm their heart rate down. Chris is doing this to reduce his signs of nervousness. Even someone as dumb as Chris knows.
Derek, I love it. Even someone as dumb as Chris.
He can't show how nervous he really is when watching himself act suspicious on the security footage, because that's a huge red flag he's guilty.
He's probably also thinking, oh my God, this isn't going to show dude, is this going to show he's definitely thinking what the heck? Now he's really really nervously watching.
Now, swaying back and forth in nervousness while watching himself pull his truck partway into the garage, which was, of course, to create cover for loading his family's bodies into his truck.
Yep.
Notice his lips are tightly pursed, which indicates withholding the truth.
Tension right there. Tension, yeah. Back to the phone.
His heart rate here is so high due to nervousness, he felt the need to hold at least one hand over his head at all times.
Yep.
His nervous swaying back and forth is so over the top. It's like he's slow dancing with himself.
Yeah, and you could just see his breath now of like, oh my god, 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 this is not good. You can see the panic, you can see what he's visualizing. And what's interesting is I'm blocking it now because everywhere I move, there's something I need to see, but the neighbor's looking at him like, I know.
Now he's looking away, thinking of something in a blank stare. I like to think he's wondering whether or not he'll ever be allowed conjugal visits, or if it's just going to be Bubba. What do you think Chris is thinking about?
Bubba.
The length of silence here says so much. Because what do you say when you're watching a likely murderer watch himself cover up his murders, which were committed that morning?
Because if there was any sort of action out there,
his camera's
I would have got it.
Right.
Sunglasses fall because the sweat that formed on his head reduced friction for them to stay up. Also, his incredible nervousness caused him to be less spatial.
It almost looks like he's trying to be cool there.
Where?
We had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that, and I had parked my truck
I had
here.
to park right here.
Yeah.
This is a typical sign of a liar, which is diverting. When a liar is being pressed on a key issue, they'll start to talk about other, somewhat related things in great detail, which accomplishes two things. First, it makes the liar come across as open and honest, because they're surrendering information. Second, they're able to avoid talking about the key issue in which they're guilty of or lying about.
It's like, oh yeah, I mean, there were people robbing garages, so, you know, I
could see where someone tried to jimmy with a flathead screwdriver.
Chris is showing little to no interest in using Nate's camera to figure out where he can find Shanann and the kids. Chris is treating this as his time to defend himself.
Right. Instead of being like intensely watching to see if there's any information about his family, it's like, well, the reason I'm there.
But if any action would have happened, any cars or anything.
Nate explains how his camera would have captured anyone leaving Chris's home from the garage.
Left your house, I would have
been like right in that area. They should have picked.
Oh, it'll pick up anything.
You know, Chris is probably like, shut up, Nate.
Coming down the street this way.
You know where that trigger is?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So unless they pulled right here, but I would have caught her walking out.
And you know that he probably did not realize that neighbor's camera caught that angle. You know, you could just tell he didn't think that through, or he just didn't expect it. This is 2018. Ring cameras are still new-ish at that time.
Chris looks away completely in defeat because he knows all video evidence points to him.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
Coincidentally, How Babies Are Born comes up on Nate's TV, and of course Chris seizes on that idea to make it appear he's concerned about the safety of his pregnant wife. Watch.
She's pregnant as well.
It's like he says what he thinks he should say based on what he saw in movies, not based on the empathy he feels or even could imagine feeling. Very typical of someone with antisocial personality disorder.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
Now Chris tries to make it seem like Now Chris tries to make it seem like his missing pregnant wife is the reason he's been acting so nervous. Wow, look at his eyes there.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
He looks terrified. And no matter what you're watching, you will always find a commercial with Shaquille O'Neal on it. And that's the General commercial. I know that one. That's a classic. That man Shaq is in many commercials.
I'm fast forwarding, but you can still see him sway back and forth with his lips sucked in and his arms folded in tightly to his body. That signals Chris is giving himself as much self-comfort as possible while standing.
Yeah, he's like...
Nothing, no cars came through because I guarantee with the headlights, it picks up the headlights automatically.
And my Vivint said that at 5:27, my garage door was left open.
Why is Chris now talking about a faulty garage door sensor? Yep, diversion.
It says it was shut during the day, but I think when Nikki's son, he may try to move the door around, maybe when they were trying to get in the garage door, and it probably broke the laser there.
Yeah, but like, what does that have to do with anything?
And what does that have anything to do with
Thank you, Derek.
finding your pregnant wife and 2 kids? Yep, just diversion.
And our remote on the outside doesn't work anymore. It got wet.
Chris is trying everything he can to avoid talking about the real issue. How did they leave the
Our remote doesn't work anymore. It got wet. Thank you, Chris, for that detrimental information to your missing family.
house if the only way to leave the inside locked house was from the garage door that has a motion sensor camera on it? Obviously, he wants to stay far away from that topic.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate your time.
There's probably part of him that's like, oh, thank God there wasn't more. Also, look at him looking at the neighbor like.
Hopefully something comes up here.
Another massive house, man. I never grew up in homes this big, so this when I see these homes, I'm like, oh my God.
Mind if you just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick.
Now we get to find out what neighbor Nate really thinks. Watch this.
I mean, Nate watched him out. He's not acting right at all.
No.
Apparently, Nate was doing a little body language evaluation on Chris during all of that.
He never loads his stuff in and out of the garage ever.
Right.
And it doesn't look like he came from right here. It looks like he came from down the street. And then the other...
It's crazy because if Nate didn't exist, or like if they didn't have this camera, or Nate wasn't observant, there's a chance that Chris might have gotten away with this. Which is insane. If it wasn't for this footage and this information and then this moment of like, oh, he definitely is guilty, there's a chance that Chris would have maybe, I don't know if you guys agree or not, but like, it seems like Nate really is the catalyst to all this. Nicole and Nate.
The thing that doesn't make sense is why would he pull past this part? You can see him pull past.
Are you able to record this?
Uh-huh.
He's also exactly right. Why would he pull into the driveway? Why wouldn't he just pull in real quick and go? It's like you're making a. There's a reason you're going into the driveway. If it's saving 2.5 feet to drag a tool or two is not going to do much, but it will for a body.
But watch, you'll see him get out. And he walks back and forth a couple times. To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because
Well, now I'm blocking his face, and I'm going to go back down. Here we go. And let's see if I can get it to be like kind of decent. Yeah, it's good enough.
And he walks back and forth a couple times. To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs, and he gets crazy.
Does he? And that's pretty recently.
Yeah.
That's not the always calm and easygoing Chris he was leading everyone to believe.
It just seems kind of odd to me. Why would he pull that stuff up and go to the garage? If he loads his stuff, he normally just walks back and forth, because I get him on camera.
What does he usually load up?
All he usually has is a lunchbox and a book bag.
Yeah, it's like just super ironic that the day this all happened, suddenly Chris had an absurd amount of tools and just things he had to load up in his truck. Just so happens.
And usually a water truck, that's it.
Yep, Nate was referring to Chris's baseline and how this morning's actions drastically deviated from that baseline.
Right.
He doesn't look worried. He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks. But I can't see what he's doing in the back of the truck because he pulled into the garage. And he knows my camera's there.
Yep, that's how Shanann and the kids left the house.
So I guess he did know the camera was there, but it makes sense. That's why he pulled into the driveway. So they couldn't see.
They know it.
Kind of odd that he pulls his truck back behind my camera.
Imagine what they're thinking, too. Like, they're not thinking, yo, our neighbor, our next door neighbor, is he a murderer? Did he kill his family? Like, that's a crazy thought and a very eerie thought.
The truck's in the garage right now. And he never backs his truck into the driveway ever. Hey, he's acting so suspicious. He's normally, you can ask them, he's normally quiet, real subdued. He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out, what he did. He's very, he never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
Yeah, but I mean, put yourself in his situation.
Oh, I agree.
You know, anyone's going to be nervous. You don't know what to do.
Wait, did Officer Coonrod completely buy what Chris was saying? I think the officer was trying to not let on to anyone knowing that police think Chris is very guilty.
Also, though, I mean, it is an officer's job to make it innocent until proven guilty. You know, speculation can mess up things. So that's probably part of it, too, trying to have some sort of code of conduct.
Because police can't risk anyone knowing that they're onto him, since it may get back to Chris. If Chris feels they're after him, he may stop.
This cop is not stupid. This cop knows.
Stop open dialogue with police, lawyer up, shut his mouth, and test his luck with a jury. Yeah. Then what are the chances of finding...
And look at what happened with Casey Anthony, right?
Shanann and the girls. Yes, much smaller. Have you ever noticed police never aggressively accuse? They never say things like, everyone knows you're guilty, just admit it. Right. Who would want to open up to someone like that? Law enforcement wants to come across as your friend, where they empathize with you, and sometimes even appearing to side with you, so you voluntarily share information with them. That's the most effective way for law enforcement to solve cases. Police quickly knew Chris Watts was guilty because his body language showed little to no interest in finding his wife and 2 little girls.
Even just like the way they're just closed off, facing away from the cops.
And even came across as happy that they were gone. Because sadly, that's what he wanted. A new life without a wife and kids.
Oh wow, is that him and Nicole? Jesus.
His nervous body language, especially watching his neighbor's security footage, also gave him away. Because as much as he tried to hide it, it was obvious he was guilty and was scared of getting caught. Now in the comments, what do you...
Wow, good video. Thank you, Derek, for that video. That was really good. Also, congrats on the absurd amount of money that you made from this video, getting 41 million views. And that video has 101,000 comments. Oh my God. All right, well, if you made it to the end, that is the most watched Chris Watts video on the internet. Thank you for watching me. Watch that, watch him, watch this. Thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys here on Thursday right here on Triple R Ryan's Real Reactions. Peace.